Back here on Backyard History.
Hello and welcome to Backyard History Battles. Today I am going to show you an example of a federal knapsack, the M1855 to 1864 knapsack. The Union knapsack, starting from the top, has these two straps. They are called greatcoat straps because that's where you put your greatcoat, right on top. These straps also are used by those who opted out for a bedroll. They use these to fasten the bottom of their bedroll and keep it tight if they decided to switch over. But for the issued double bag knapsack, that's what these were used for, is for the greatcoat. So going inside of the knapsack, you open it up, you have the bag, obviously, that has the two leather tie-offs, and the trunk, which is where it is fastened by the leather straps, similar to the greatcoat straps, but just sewn onto the bag itself. Now, there is many ways you can do this. Like I said, your greatcoat would most typically go on top, and your blanket, your half shelter tent, and your gun blanket, all that would go inside. Now, with that being said, I put mine right here. Ease of access. You can slip it right out without even having to unbuckle your bag and get your blanket if it's getting chilly outside. It's a lot of things you gotta either take from original accounts or learn yourself, like what's easiest to do, what's the most simple. And I like doing things like this, putting things in a nice easy place to access. So I put that right on top. Moving on into the trunk. So this is where the soldier would keep a lot of his heavy equipment, this stuff like his ground cloth, his tent, perhaps even the blanket if he didn't put it on top like I did. Like I said, that's the way I like to put it there, just because it's easy to grab and pull right out. But yeah, we open this up. And on the inside, right front and center, is my ground cloth. And like I said, again, I like to have things in an easy place to access. And this is something that you get out quite frequently, whether it's to put on the ground to sit on when you're by the fire, or you get out when it's raining and you throw around yourself. So that's why I put this right here, in between these two here. So the ones that are open towards the bag and out towards the outside of the bag. The other ones I keep fastened, and I put it on top of those. Now, you open these up, and this is where you start getting into the meat and potatoes of your knapsack. So I like to keep my plate right on top, and underneath my plate I keep my utensils. So inside, obviously, the utensil bag, I have my fork, knife, spoon, all that, your cutlery. Very important to have, and I like to keep it in here rather than my haversack. Some reenactors might keep it in their haversack because that's easier to get to, and yes, I would agree, it's a lot easier to get to, but if you land on that in the heat of battle or something and a fork goes through your haversack, that would not be very comfortable. So, like I said, I like to keep that in my knapsack. Underneath that is just a coin purse, wallet type deal. I just keep reenactor money inside here, greenbacks and that sort of thing. So, moving on to the next big item, half tent. So obviously this is only half of the dog tent. Your pard or your comrade would help put together your other's half, and you'd have a nice shelter. But that goes right on top, or right at the bottom, that is. And inside of this, because I don't have a sheath or anything, I keep an axe or a hatchet. And this is good for chopping up firewood and whatever you need to do, get your wood for your half tent. It's good to have. Now, obviously, you probably only need one of these per company, or a couple of these per company. Somebody else could be carrying your frying pan or something of that nature, but I keep hold of a hatchet inside. I tuck it inside of my tent like this so it doesn't cut anything, and this is pretty heavy duty canvas, so it should be all right. Now moving on, a lot of different things. I have some soap. Soap is nice to have when you're getting really hot and sweaty at the very end of the day. You just want to clean off, rinse your hands, wipe down your arms. It goes a long way, trust me. I also have my little candle holder. This holds on to some of my candles and a couple matches and things of that nature, but it also doubles as a lantern. This folds out. You can put your candle inside. Very useful for writing and that sort of thing, and keeping a light on yourself at night. Next up, I just hold on to some twine. It's not very heavy duty, but in most instances it does the job, so it's pretty good. Some spare poke sacks. I mean, you never know when you might run across something and you need to fill them up. Another thing you could keep in here is an extra pair of drawers, socks, whatever. I like to keep more things in my trunk. You want to kind of like make it flat and comfortable for when you're carrying it on your back, so you probably won't want to have a bunch of stuff in here that will be uncomfortable to carry, but I think it's a little more secure than the bag. I find that a lot of things fall out of the bag if you're not careful, because it doesn't fasten nearly as tight. Moving right along into the bag, so these are fastened with these two little leather strips here, and like I said, it's not as secure as your trunk, but you can put a lot of useful things in here. This is where I keep my half tin. I don't use it as much as my plate, so I keep my plate in it, like with my fork and stuff, but I do have that in case somebody else needs it, or I do need to use it for, you know, something extra, put some food in while I'm cooking something else or whatever. And this is where I keep my extra drawers. I need to get an extra pair of socks, so that is something else that I would keep in there if I did have a spare pair of wool socks or cotton socks, whatever. Oh, yep, here are my gloves. So this is where I keep my fingerless gloves. Most soldiers probably didn't have two pair of gloves, but I do like having the choice to wear fingerless or non-fingerless, or you could wear one fingerless on one hand and then your non-dominant hand wear the full glove. I don't know. Whatever you need to do to be able to access your things with your fingers, because it's hard to use your fingers when you have soft padding on them. But for the most part, that's all I keep in my bag. Now, there are many ways you can pack this. I mean, there's really no right or wrong way, but there are historical accounts, and then you have whatever you want to do as a reenactor. But this is how I pack mine, and it does pretty well. So the knapsack, like I said, is very up to you how you want to pack it and what you want to do with it, or if you want to even have it at all. But with that being said, there are some personal things or little effects that you can add to it. Different people will put their company on it, the regiment or whatever, their unit, right onto the front of the bag, and like a white paint, probably oil-based. Latex would come off, so I would recommend probably painting it in some oil base, just right on front. Now, if you don't like it, you could paint black over it and redo it, or, I mean, you might see that, but like I said, that is a option, and it's been seen in historical references of knapsacks with companies and whatnot, etched into it with a little bit of paint. It is a pretty nice, and if you pack it right, it can be very comfortable to wear. A lot of people don't find it comfortable, and it depends on your body stature. If you're a larger person, then it might be a little more uncomfortable, but I don't find it to be too bad, and like I said, it's a big part about how you pack it, whether you put your tent on the bottom right up against your back, or whatever you do to help support. Another thing I like to do, and this is kind of useful to know, and it's been very good information that I've learned, is your blanket will roll back, like over top of the bag. It will want to do this when you're wearing it. And it doesn't look good, doesn't feel good. So what I do is when you're putting your blanket or your greatcoat, most likely your greatcoat up on top, I feed my greatcoat straps through your arm supports, right through there. So if you take your coat strap, you feed it through here, and it pulls it up. And you want to make sure it's nice and down, so you don't want it like twisted or anything, but you want it to be pulled nice and tight, and pull it however tight you want it to be. You don't want it loose necessarily, but this will keep it from rolling, and it's really annoying if it does. It doesn't look good if it starts to roll, and I'm not sure there are any historical accounts of this, but chances are, if a soldier knew about this, they would have done it. It's one of those things where it's minor, but it's definitely not out of the question. Thank you for watching. This has been Backyard History on how to wear, use, and equip your knapsack.